You're watching Thai PBS World. Tonight, I'm Fan Kan-shi.
And I'm Nabuna.
So, Ned, this time we understand that in Parliament, no matter Kun Anutin, our Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, and so many cabinet members right now, of course, in the Parliament, give the policy statement. But this time, we would like to focus on the Ministry of Commerce because the Commerce Minister Suphajee say that we see a lot of difficulties in farming sector, including rice, because this time rice, of course, we see that 25 to 26, 2025 to 26 crop year is projected at 541 million tons, nearly matching the consumption, global consumption at 542 million tons. But however, we still see high stockpile rice this time. So I understand that Commerce Minister wants to give our farmers on the ground, no matter it's rice or other sector, to give financial support this time. And we can see, of course, right now, Kun Anutin's government only has 4 months to go to no matter tackle all the economic issues, including farming sector too. So the government has prepared to handle a total output of 8.5 million tons through 4 key measures: delaying sales of 3 million tons, credit support for agricultural cooperatives, liquidity support for rice traders, and direct assistance for farmers. So what I said, the last one, 1,000 baht per rai and up to 10 rai per household. So this is very key for our farming sector, not just rice, to keeping continuous growth and development, so they wouldn't see some difficulties.
It's interesting how the Commerce Minister is placing high priority, high importance on these issues, especially the farming sector, because when you're talking about rice, we've been saying this all along that the status of being the #1 exporter of rice for Thailand is no longer there anymore because Thailand has lost its status to India and Vietnam. So I think this is actually an opportunity for Thailand to speed up its exports, and Suphajee coming in with these incentives, that is really interesting.
Yes, according to Thai PBS report, not just farming sector, but also cost of living, the reduction of cost of living, FTA too, very important. But we still see some difficulties because I think Kun Suphajee, Commerce Minister, also pointed out that she wants to seal the deal for FTAs with EU, fast process with South Korea. We see, of course, the FTAs process with the UK too. So there are so many incentives and policies that Commerce Minister and Commerce Ministry, of course, can really help Thailand to survive amid economic uncertainties?
In fact, the discussions for the FTAs has been going on for months already since the previous administrations, and now it's Anutin's administration as well. So Suphajee is trying to push for that as well because the FTAs are yet to be finalized.
Right. So in addition to this long-term policy, of course, short-term policy for rice, for farmers, long-term policy for FTA negotiations, of course, we talk about Kun Anutin, Prime Minister, also put out 4+1, 5 urgent policies right now. And one of that is co-payment scheme that we talk about. We understand that right now, 60 billion baht budget for the co-payment scheme to be implemented very soon. So, of course, we already talked about it, just talk about again, state welfare card holders, 13 million people will receive an additional 1,700 baht per month, and bringing the total to 2,000 baht per month in a single installment. And personal income tax filers too. Personal income tax filers too, 11 million people in the tax system who submit tax returns will see their co-payment scheme adjusted from 50-50 to 60-40 that we already talked about. Non-tax filers, 9 million people outside the personal income tax system will receive 2,000 baht top up. So net, we understand that this time Kun Anutin really wants to revitalize the economy, of course with reduction of cost of living, let Thai people have more incentives, have more pocket money to use this time.
At least it's still better than the digital wallet scheme.
Yes.
And this one seems to be much more promising because it has proven to be successful since the Prayut Chan-o-cha administration. So Anutin has considered to revive the scheme to boost the economy as well as the spending, especially among low-income earners.
Right, and we'll talk about the political implications really soon. But before that, I have to remind our audience of coming recession, Ned, because according to SCB Economic Intelligence Center reported that the center maintains its growth forecast for the Thai economy at 1.8% this year. And next year is 1.5% because of, weak growth in the economy amid U.S. tariff impact. And next year we will see the full impact right now. Of course, we see robust export growth. However, of course, from January to August, but since September and maybe right now, we are getting into October very soon, that number or that volume would decrease. And also, according to SCB EIC chief economist, he said that this year and next growth will be relatively low compared with past level of around 3% or the high 2% range. But in the 4 to 5 years since COVID, our growth average only 2%, and next year is 1.4%. So actually, Nat, there's a new report actually today. I have already read that Thailand's GDP growth, according to Asian Development Bank, Thailand's growth is only at 1.4, 1.5, according to SCB2, 1.5%. But, Indonesia, Philippines, still very high. Even Vietnam.
Yeah. Like Vietnam was like 8% for this year, right? But with the predictions that are coming out, whether it's from the ADB or other financial institutions, all of them agree that Thailand's economy has reached its recession. So the growth of only 1.5% is not looking good at all. But this is something that we have to live with.
But Kun Anutin, of course, the government trying so hard to revitalize. We see a lot of policies right now. But that short-term policy, of course, will not really boost up the economic outlook and data for us in terms of GDP. Very challenging time for them too. Of course, we see 1.4%, and right now Thailand is not a high-income country. We have to remember that we are not South Korea or Japan. So we still need a boost for that, but we haven't seen that stimulus coming yet.
Exactly, and many of the economists do not expect the Anutin government to be able to revive the economy within only 4 months. And you just mentioned the 50-50 co-payment scheme. Recently, People's Party Deputy Leader Sirikanya Tasakun has criticized the Anutin government for its effectiveness in addressing economic problems, and she even suspected that this particular scheme is potentially buying votes for the next general election for the Bhumjaithai party. And during the debate on the government's policy statement on Monday, Sirikanya said that no one disagrees with the co-payment scheme, but she was surprised that the person who gave the details about the scheme, it was not even Prime Minister Anutin or the Finance Minister Niti Thampraphat, but it ended up being the Bhumjaithai deputy leader who may be appointed as the government spokesperson. So this is quite suspicious because most of the economic policy should actually come from the finance minister, the commerce minister, or it should be from Prime Minister Anutin himself. But it ended up being the deputy leader of Bhumjaithai party.
That's what you said, because deputy leader is a political position rather than the government position, as we talk about, is a member of the cabinet or minister himself, or even Prime Minister Anutin, but this time is deputy leader. So it means that why the policy is explained by a political position holder.
Yeah, and even Sirikanya said that it is debatable as to whether the 50-50 co-payment scheme is a political or an economic project.
Right.
But she did say, though, that it may help boost the Bhumjaithai party's popularity while failing to solve any economic problems. Like we just said, Anutin's government has only 4 months in office, so it is not really possible to revive the economy in just 4 months. So the only choice that they have is short-term stimulus measures like these. But then Sirikanya thinks it's just like another populist policy.
Right. Actually, so many economists or political analysts talk about this is a populist policy in a way that is necessary for the economic side. Of course, we need to see short-term stimulus, but political side, because we always talk about it, Ned. Generally, of course, this government led by Kun Anutin will dissolve the parliament, and we will see another election perhaps in April. So this very short time, Bhumjaithai has to find a lot of and get a lot of popularity for the next election. And of course, there are so many competitors on the ground, right?
Yeah, and we have to admit that these stimulus measures are often used as populist policies for many of the political parties. Like if you remember, Thai party used the digital wallet scheme to gain support from their voters, and Bhumjaithai right now is using the 50-50 co-payment scheme as one of its means to attract their supporters. But then Sirikanya also mentioned that this scheme will cost the taxpayers' money about 66 billion baht, especially for the first phase. And she also mentioned that this amount will be divided into 3 parts. One is for the state welfare card holders, those who are in the tax system, and those who do not pay taxes. So these are actually split into 3 groups.
Yeah, but quite a lot of budget to go. We see government's expenditure still in deficit, a fiscal deficit too for Thailand's economy and the whole system too. So how can the government, of course, we understand that they have the sources to do it, but is that pragmatic to do that?
Yeah, and even though it's true that it can help reduce the cost of living and help SMEs, especially with the scheme, but she actually suggested that in terms for the use of money under the scheme should be readjusted, such as by changing the maximum spend per day of 200 baht to a minimum of 200 baht a day to accelerate the spending among low-income earners.
So quite understandable, because if we move up the floor to 200 baht, it means that people can really put more money in, 200 baht and more. That's why we can really stimulate the economy. But this is what the economy said. We really want to see how the fresh money and really boost into the system. But if it's just 200 baht maximum, it wouldn't help. So maybe this could be a good policy to do.
Well, we have to say one thing. It is not really possible to use everything with only 200 baht. Like for traveling costs, for all of these goods that we have to buy,
Or just grocery shopping.
Yeah, it already exceeds 200 baht. So maybe revise that. That would be much more efficient. And now let's move on to the story. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration has arrested one of the 3 teenagers who allegedly spray painted over a section of approved graffiti artwork on a wall in Charoen Krung area. And Bangkok Governor Chacha Sittipan said that the suspect in custody confessed that he and 2 other friends were involved in defacing the artwork, which was created by a Spanish artist as part of the Krungthep Creative Streets project. And the damaged piece depicts a woman with a flower behind her left ear and had been sprayed over with English letters, causing significant damage. And if we compare between the graffiti, the original graffiti, and now the destroyed graffiti, that looks completely different. And I feel really bad for the Spanish artist.
But I understand that, as what you said, the original graffiti is already have an artsy way, and right now, of course,
it's been ruined.
Yeah, it's being ruined, Ned. But I understand that, of course, right now we already have these 2 suspects inside the custody too already. I wouldn't say anything because it's already create so much damage for the original piece.
Yeah, and
people really want to see the original piece.
Yeah, but the thing is that when we think of Bangkok, we don't really think of graffiti, but if we do see one, it would be something really beautiful. It would be like something more creative, more artsy, and something that is unique. It's not like in the US where you would see like random letters or even swear words on those walls as well. But all of a sudden, these beautiful pieces are being ruined by these teenagers.
Yes, but that one actually, our audience also see that is about a very beautiful woman wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
But this time it's already covered by some unknown graffiti. I don't know how to explain that, but
it's hard to explain
it's hard
for
to
us,
explain,
though.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain politely, I would say. But then the governor stated that the incident occurred early in the morning of September 27th when the 3 teenagers arrived on motorcycles and took 17 minutes vandalizing this graffiti. And CCTV footage actually captured this event clearly. And and Chachat also emphasized that this actually constitutes property damage because the artwork is under the care of the city hall. So, and the offense carries a heavier penalty than general public nuisance violations. And he also warned other people considering similar actions that such behavior is not okay. It's not a source of pride as well.
And as what you said, because this is a project supported by the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, so that's why they have to face this kind of legal issues in between. And of course, I understand that, as what you said, a lot of pieces, creative artsy pieces this time with that creative street project too. So I would just say that do not damage any creative arts at this moment. Yeah,
but I think this one is kind of difficult to comment on.
Sometimes it's so difficult to control, you understand, because it's public street, public arts for us to really view that, to get the sense of art, but this time it's not the case.
Yeah, and especially with such a beautiful piece like this, it's being ruined with random letters and, oh gosh.
Yeah, what could we say?
Yeah.
But just, I would recommend just seeing the beauty of the art and do not touch it. At this
just
moment.
leave it as it is. I think that would be much better. Just appreciate the beauty, appreciate the art, because I'm pretty sure that took days to complete this artwork. And nobody wants this kind of art to be ruined. Because
if we want to ruin, maybe just take 1 second, but for their artist efforts, they need weeks and days and weeks to finish that.
Exactly. And that's all for this edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Join us every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Thai PBS World's Facebook and YouTube Live. You can also follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest stories and analyses about Thailand. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ